So I need to make sure that you can acknowledge that you know we are recording this video interview for use on possible broadcast on ABC News. You okay with that?
Yep.
You can say yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So I'll begin with my first question. Why did you want to speak with us?
uh, Two reasons. One was I knew my co-defendant was putting my name out there in a bad light, and I didn't appreciate it because the way that I was brought up in a integrity environment as well as one with full of honor, and that's part of the reason why I didn't feel that it was right what she was doing. And the second was I understand that getting a chance to actually be on TV and everything else, that's a very, very big privilege. It's not something you get very often. And because I knew that, I understood that this is pretty much the same thing as a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I couldn't pass it.
What has Gypsy said that put you in a bad light, in your opinion?
Um, for one, she's openly admitted that she is more than willing to lie without having a conscience in doing so. Uh, and a lot of the lies that she's said, I feel like I have to literally c- cover it with the truth, and because of it, yeah, gets very frustrating for me.
How did you first meet Gypsy?
I met her on uh, basically online. It was on a dating site. It was called Christian datingforfree.com.
What first attracted you to Gypsy Rose?
Actually, I believe, well, she said it was the same thing, but I'm not fully sure if it really was that. For me, it was, well, I looked at her profile first, and I looked seeing that when she was on the way that she put her actual profile together, it was pretty much everything I was looking for, everything from her height to everything else, and um, and then I looked at her profile picture, and that right away got my attention. It drew me to her really quickly. So everything came pretty quick, just from looking at her profile picture alone, and every bit of the information that she provided on her profile picture, as well as the rest of the profile itself. Yeah.
How would you describe your online relationship with Gypsy Rose?
Oh, this is easy for me to do because it's a question that I'm one of the only ones willing to go in deep detail about. Um, at first, when we first started out, it was well, I could definitely tell that she was fairly new to it, and I was fairly new to it in the light that where since for us it was something where we both were more like, I guess you could call it like how to put it in words. You could say it was our very first online dating where we actually got serious. From what I understood, I was actually the very first one she truly fell in love with, was what she told me. And for some darn reason, I obviously believed it. I'm not fully sure if it's actually true, but yeah, uh, it started out as pretty good. Towards the middle, we started having problems, and then the next thing I know, uh, when it came to Towards the end part of it, we almost had trouble surviving literally as a couple online because uh, it seemed like she was starting arguments just to see if I'd stay together with her, and well, she'll openly admit it, as if she's gonna tell the truth. She'll openly admit that I was really the glue that stuck us together. There's there's times where when we had our arguments that she would uh do things, and then I would show basically her in the great detail that I'm usually able to provide that she was doing these things, and the next thing you know, she would uh, at one moment she would admit it, and then another moment she would be acting like she didn't know what I was talking about. So she basically was playing a cat mouse game with me, and it just made more tension on the relationship. We almost
Nick,
broke up by the.
Nick, let me ask you this. Was
Okay,
Gypsy was Gypsy Rose your first love?
no, not my very first one. No,
How quickly did you fall in love with Gypsy Rose?
uh, pretty quick. I will admit it was pretty quick.
And it was intense?
Yeah, very intense.
How did you feel when you all were communicating back and forth, sending messages?
Uh, well, I mean, when we first started on the Christian Dating for Free website, it started out in like I guess you could call it, uh, what's the word to put it? This is just touch around the area to get to know how this might go, that kind of a feeling. And then after we started relaying information to each other and uh, basically communicating about our likes, our hobbies, and so forth, uh, we started finding common ground from what she was telling me at the time. And after that happened, she ended up letting me know a Facebook name that she gave me, which was just it was known as Gypsy Rose at the time, and we ended up chatting on there about I would want to say about a day or two after that. Once we started talking on Facebook, we went together, which was October 17th, 2012, is when we was the first day we were together.
Nick, tell me about the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Whose idea was it? Who planned the murder?
Uh, well, I'm actually surprised that Gypsy's actually admitted that she's done it because it's the truth. She actually is the one who actually not only did most of the planning because I've made it right out in the open that I left that to her to do the planning, but I also uh, mainly went with the actual idea only because I truly wanted to be with her. I was literally not going to let anything stop me from being with her. And I made it clear to her, you, in one case where I mentioned it online, and then she had this habit of trying to push me further and push me to the point where there's no returning. But yeah, it was Gypsy's idea.
What did she ask you to do, Nick, specifically?
I can give you the exact conversation on how that went. Uh, she came online one night and she basically asked me. Uh, she was basically saying, "Baby, I have a question for you," and I was like, "Yes. What is it? I know I'll answer anything you want, obviously." And then she's like, "Is there anything you'd want to do to basically be with me? Is there anything you want to do to be with me at all? Uh, uh, whether it's uh, basically just getting to meet my mom and so forth, or uh, what is it that you would be willing to do to be with me? And I'm like, well, that answer is obviously anything to be with you. Once I said anything, I was pretty much locked in my word because I never broke my word the entire time I've been with her. The next thing I know, she asks me, well, anything, are you willing to even kill my mom for me? I'm thinking to myself, at first I was like, what the heck is she asking me here? I was first in shock, and then she, once she asked me that, I was like, are you serious about this? Well, I already told you I'd be willing to do anything to be with you. I'm not one to take my word lightly. So you better be serious about this. I had to get her to say that she was serious 3 times before I realized that was no joking around about it. Because originally she started off in a joking manner when she'd bring this up. It was basically on the tension that she was having put on her relationship with me due to her mom. This is after the first time we actually met. Her mom apparently was having an argument with her this night, and she got so frustrated to the point where she told me that she was serious about it. And I basically supported her on it as long as she was really serious about it. I told her that this was a life changing moment, and if she's serious about this, there was nothing to joke around about. If she was joking about it, she'd tell me now and drop it right there. But no, we didn't drop it. She even wanted to go right into the planning right after she said that.
So, Nick, describe for me what Gypsy's role was in the murder of Dee Dee and what your role was in the murder of Dee Dee.
Well, to put it in the most concise way I possibly could put it, uh, she was basically the mastermind behind it all. I was basically a hired hitman in its own weird sense. Actually, in a more than one way, actually, now thinking about it in a deeper sense, mainly because, yes, she paid for everything from my bus fare down to Springfield, to the hotel I went to the food I ate, everything like that she paid for. And not only that, well, at the time she made me believe that she really loved me when, well, here I am and where she turned her back on me, so I know that's not fully true. But yes, that was her role in the whole situation. She literally made me basically feel like I was doing her a service when really uh, it was really more like a hired situation, even though I didn't feel like it was that. And with my role in the whole situation was just basically the one that was to carry the harder part of the whole plan. I mean, I basically went back and forth with her. I collaborated with her, but I just basically, as long as it sounded like it would work, I told her if was okay for me or not, and I basically went with whatever she was telling me. Basically,
So, Nick, help me understand. Why did you agree to and ultimately commit the act of stabbing Dee Dee to death?
uh, well, I can't openly admit it on here since it's recorded in 2 directions, but I will say that the reason why I've admitted it in the past, and I will keep on admitting it, uh, the reason why I did do this is because I was, for one, so deeply in love with Gypsy at the time, and I said to her that I was always going to love her no matter what. I was going to love her unconditionally. There's nothing that would ever change that. I'll always love her. I kept my word. She apparently said she doesn't love me anymore, which means she was using me. Me, on the other hand, to this day, I still love her. So there's where the differ is different there, but I still to this day, I still love her.
Nick,
That was basically the reason why it happened.
Nick, can I
It
ask you
happened
this?
because
Can I ask you another question, Nick?
yeah.
Did you think that you were her Prince Charming?
Actually, the way that it looks like to me, well, actually, it's quite funny you asked me that because she used to, her nickname for me was King Charming. Mine for her was my Blessing Queen. And yeah, it's pretty darn crazy because at the time I felt like she was a blessing to me, but the more and more I think about it, it's blessing at the time, but it's only a blessing for the memories that she's given me, not necessarily the position she's put me in.
Hey, Nick, tell me what your nickname was again, because I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Uh, she used to call me her King Charming.
King Charming.
Hmm.
Why did she call you that?
Well, the thing it was is that me and her, we used to talk about Disney movies all the time, and you had Prince Charming as one of them. That we were talking about. We were talking about Cinderella. Uh, Not just that, we were talking about all the different movies that they made that were romance based in a cartoon form like that. Um, and the next thing I realized is that with the uh, names that we were giving each other, she came up with the King Charming one, and I'm like, yeah, that fits, that fits.
Did you have a name for
After
Didi?
that, not really, no.
Did she have a role though in this fantasy romance that you all were creating online and then ultimately tried to live out later?
Uh, the fantasy we were creating was pretty darn strong. I will admit it was pretty darn strong. But after that, it's a little different because um, I mean, it kind of like evolved. It went from just an online romance to when we were in person into something much more serious and much more powerful than just uh, something you would call romance that just plays in someone's mind.
In Gypsy's
It
mind,
felt much more
Nick, in,
real.
in Gypsy's mind and in your mind, why did Didi have to die?
Well, originally, uh, uh, the first time we ended up meeting, she uh, apparently she angered her mom, and we were at the what was it? It was a yeah, there was a theater at the time. We ended up seeing Cinderella at the time, and apparently we ended up angering her mom. It's more like she angered her than I did, is what she was saying. Uh, and apparently she ended up coming up with an idea after that where she tried to make it look like it came from me to her and to her mom that ended up delivering flowers to her to try to warm her mom's heart up to letting me get closer to them. And it didn't work. Apparently, from what she was telling me, it didn't work. So the only thing that she could come up with and I was able to come with was that. We were only able to come up with that.
Did
That
you
was the
think
only
that
idea
you
that was
had, did
left.
you think that you, or did you believe that you were saving Gypsy?
Uh, with the knowledge that I was getting from her, very much so, yes. I did believe that I was saving her due to due to the environment that she was in. I was well aware of her seeming like she was well wheelchair wheelchair bound, and uh, I was aware that she was taking a lot of medication and a lot of the stuff that was going on with her, and I felt like it was being pretty much forced on her. and I felt like it was something that was not something she deserved. So uh, it kind of made me feel as if it was a duty of mine that I had to do because no one else was stepping up to do it, or they were just too blind to see it in plain sight, plain right out in the open. So I felt like it was, if no one else was gonna do it, someone had to do it, and I ended up being the one she called upon to do it.
What is it about Gypsy that you loved so much and that you still love?
Well, now, originally it was everything about her. Every single thing about her. Everything from the way she looked to her personality to her heart to uh, even some of the things that she would say. It's quite interesting because I could actually get a little bit of the southern accent from her from when she used to, before she came up to Missouri when she was down in Louisiana. I could tell she actually came from down there because there were certain words that she would say that remind me that she actually came from there from her accent. But everything from that to everything else, and then once this whole situation happened, the thing that stayed with me of what I love about her to this day, even though I am not in love with her anymore, I still do love her, to where it's not like a husband and wife kind of thing. It's more of a just a respect on the kind of memories that she's given me. So I would say that I still love her for all the memories that she's given me that were positive ones. But at the same time, I just love her just because, I mean, I told her the truth. I was always gonna love her, and so to this day I still do. That's the only way I can explain it.
And I know that this isn't easy to hear, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to react because Gypsy told me that she believes you are heartless for what you did to Dee Dee and that she feels sorry for you.
Turn everything on. Hang on, sorry. You know how slow I am with these things. Hi.
Yep, doing all right. Yep, yep. Okay,
Permission. You
okay,
know that I tell you that we're filming and that you give your permission to, like, you basically say that you know that we're filming you, yeah?
okay.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So hang on. Where's it gone? I've just lost this thing. Sorry, Nick. 1 minute.
Okay.
It's so annoying, this computer. Let me see. Okay. Right. So the same thing as we did before, just to confirm that if you could just answer yes if you understand this, just to confirm that you give your permission for us to record this video interview for the purposes of the production we're making about the death of Dee Dee Blanchard.
Yes,
And you agree to take. You agree that any part of this interview, as well as your name and the accounts of your life, may be used in the production for the promotion of this production.
yes,
And you're aware that the production could be broadcast in theory all over the world in any media format forever.
yes,
And just to clarify, that you're aware that the prisoner are also recording this conversation and that anything you say to us could be potentially used in connection with your up and coming trial.
yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I am just gonna start a new project. Sorry. Okay. And now I'm going to get rid of myself, okay? So you won't see me anymore. And I'm just going to ask you questions like I did before. Unfortunately, some of them are going to be the same because you know we had that issue before with the flashing. So I'm going to get you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too fond of having to repeat myself constantly. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This technology, I'm not so down with it. Here we go. Okay, so could you tell me a little bit about, take us through how the idea of killing Gypsy's mum came about? Did she ask you to kill her mum? And so when you answer this, if you could remember that my question won't be included. So if you could say something about one day Gypsy said to me on Facebook, or she came to me with the idea, you know, start it off so we understand what your answer is.
Yeah. Sure. All right. The time that happened. Okay. Okay. Um. Well. One night. Believe it was right after she got done being in an argument with her mom. She was online with me. I do remember this conversation pretty well, actually. She first just said that she wanted to ask me something. She was like, "Can I ask you something?" And then I said, "Of course you can, baby. What is it?" And then after that, she started to she started to
Oh, hang on. Are you moving something?
what was it? Yeah, it's her. No, it just
Okay.
started doing it out of
Don't move
nowhere.
anything. It's saying that something's being like moved. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's start again.
Nope.
So if you could say, maybe if you could
I
start
don't know.
finish off my sentence, I guess maybe you could say like
Uh,
Gypsy first came to me with the idea of killing her mum.
well, she did actually ask me one night, "Can I ask you something?" Like, yeah. And then she's like, uh, "How badly do you really want to be with me?" I was like, "Well, I'd do anything to be with you," which that led me into a trap. The next thing I know, she was saying, "Even kill my mom." I'm thinking, "Are you serious?"
I'm sorry.
She's like, "Yes." I asked her
That thing
again,
keeps flashing
"Are you
again.
serious again?"
Is it? Okay.
It's gonna keep on doing it. That's the reason why, without your
Oh,
video, it's gonna
okay.
keep on doing it. That's basically what it's
That's
saying.
annoying.
But yeah,
Okay. It says it needs to be in an approved area.
yep,
Is it in an
it's gonna keep
approved
on doing it.
area? Oh,
Weird.
yeah, that's so annoying because I
Yeah, it's
can't really
weird.
record if it's flashing like this. I don't know what I can do. It keeps doing it even more now. What is it? Is it
Yeah.
like a tablet or something?
No, it's hmm. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I'm just trying something new. Trying
Okay,
to hold it in a specific way and seeing if that
that
helps.
seemed better, didn't
Oh,
it?
it stopped it for a moment. Oh, now it's going again.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna keep on doing it. I really do believe it's the video. With you having
Do you
it
think?
off
Should
like
I put
that,
it back on? I'll
that's gonna keep
try.
on doing it.
No,
I'm and 1 second. Oh, wait,
did that?
I have to see if it changed. Video will be paused. 1 second. I want to try something here. See if it helps. Unless it stopped. Oh, no, it didn't stop yet.
Okay. No.
Okay, maybe that might have helped. Nope, maybe
Um.
not. Damn it.
Okay. It hasn't done it in a second. No, it's done it now. Oh, this is so
Ay, ay, ay.
annoying. So is it anything to do with how it's plugged in? It says
No,
it's been moved.
can't say that because it was
I know. I don't know why
didn't have any problems
it's.
before.
It says something to do with it being put somewhere. Yeah, I
Well,
know.
it's
No,
on the
it seems
charger.
weird because obviously
It's on the
you can't
charger,
really move
so
it about anyway.
yeah. And I have to keep it plugged
Yeah.
in like it is for me
Okay.
to be able to use the
Oh,
phone.
do you know what?
So
I don't know
yeah.
if it's gonna work.
I think the only reason why I did it is because as soon as you clicked off your video, and then you obviously turned it back on. But I believe it's from that moment that you first turned it off, it
Hmm.
triggered it to do what it's doing,
Right. Oh, I
to
don't
where it's gonna keep
know.
on doing it.
'Cause it's obviously just happening too frequently. Is there another one that you can go on to? Maybe not. Is this the same one you were using last time when we talked?
Uh, well, the two tablets that they use for the video calling, they're both right in the same
Right.
vicinity of where I am. I mean, you have the one
Yeah.
that I'm right now on, and then the one right next
I
to
don't
it's
know
the other
why
one.
it's okay. Don't touch it. I don't. It's going to keep doing it. Thing is
Yeah,
I can keep asking you questions, but I'm going to have to ask you to repeat yourself um every time you say something, and I don't want I don't
I
I obviously
know.
don't want to make you do that.
I know.
Did you have this problem when you filmed your thing with 2020? How did they do it?
They did it. They did it way differently, because they still it's almost like they plugged in another feed into the computer, to where they were able to bring into a separate feed, to where I think it
Right.
was still doing it, but I couldn't tell. I think that's the reason why the anchor from ABC World News. I think the reason why she kept on looking up from time to time, because I think someone in
Oh,
the background was telling them that this was going,
right. And
but she
how?
just ignored it.
Right. So how did they still film your face? I don't understand. I don't understand how that works. As
Huh?
in, did this message keep flashing up when you were doing it?
Yeah. Not that I could notice. I mean, it might have been for them to where they could see it, but because they plugged into a different video
Right.
feed, I wasn't aware of
Okay.
it. It didn't do this
Um,
flash. It did not do this
I don't
flashing.
really know what to suggest. It keeps I don't really know if there are any options, but it's saying it's something to do with being at your end, so I don't really know what I can do. Mm.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it was okay
I don't know what's
initially.
going on
Is
with
there
it.
any way we can hang up this call and start again? Or do you have to accept? Do you have to? How long does it take to accept something?
Wow, that was
Is
weird.
it
I just
working?
moved
It's
it just a tad
working.
bit to see if that was the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I
It's
wanted to make
working.
sure.
Okay, so if you don't mind, can we just do that again? Would you be able to talk me through how the idea of killing Gypsy's mum came about. Did she ask you to kill her mum?
Yes, she did. I want to go specifically though. What happened was, she first asked me, "What, could I ask you a question?" She said, that, and then I said, "Yeah, surely. What does he want to ask me?" And then the next thing I know, she was asking me, "How badly do you want to be with me?" And then I told her I'd do anything to be with her, you know that. And then the next thing I know, she even from that point on, like threw me into a trap because she ended up asking me, uh, even kill my mom. I'm thinking, are you serious? Is this what you really mean? You really want me to do this? I mean, I already told you I'd do anything for you, so really, this would be in that category of anything. So I'm pretty much stuck on this situation, but if you really want me to do it, I'm willing to. Only if you truly are serious about this. There's not anything to joke around about, is what I told her. And after like the third time of her saying yes, that she really wanted to do it, at that point I figured that there was no going back, and next thing you know, uh, the 11th of June came up of 2015, and uh, what is it? Uh, 20. I'm trying to think. June of 15 of 2015 is
How did
next thing I know I'm
you, like, when
arrested.
she
But
asked
yeah,
you to do that? How did you react?
I was shocked. I was really shocked. Like I said, I was like, "Are you serious? There's not anything to joke around about." I was quite shocked, but at the same time, I knew I haven't broken my word with her, and that's the thing. I haven't broke it throughout my entire relationship with her. Because I didn't break it throughout my entire relationship, I wasn't gonna break it just on something when I already said that I would do anything for her. It sounds
And
a
why
little
would you do anything
dumb, but
for
it's the
her?
way it is. It was just that. That's the bond I had with her at the time. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her. Literally, there's truly nothing I wouldn't do. And apparently, she wanted to take advantage of it. And instead
Because you
of
said to me
protecting me like
before
she
that you
should have.
felt a little bit like she'd manipulated you, and that she kept saying, you remember you said to me before, like, oh, you know, you won't actually go through with this, you won't actually do this. Did she say things like that to you? And what did that cause you to feel?
Yes, yes, that is very true. Ironically, it's in the Facebook messages. It's even in the freaking texts between me and her before the situation came about. She ended up, first it was in the Facebook messages. She ended up telling me basically that she didn't believe I was capable of it, and I was just making a show and blah blah blah, and making it seem like uh, there was more to it than making it seem as if I'm just putting up on a show when I was dead serious the entire time that when I keep my word, I keep my word. So she's basically playing me off my word, and yeah, she kept on egging me on there, and then it was even worse on the Texas because the part that made it even worse there is that uh, she ended up throwing an ultimatum out of nowhere. And the thing was, is I wanted us to work out no matter what happened. I wanted us to work out. I was literally the glue to me and her. So that's the reason why, unfortunately, she was able to manipulate me in such a effective way. The next thing I know, she ends up throwing an ultimatum saying that if you truly love me, you'd be willing to do this for me because you know this is the only way we can be together. And I was, for a while there, fighting it, but the next thing I know, I just couldn't give in right away. I had to keep on fighting it. But at some point, I ended up giving in because I just I felt too pressured by it. I didn't know what else to do, but I wanted to make her happy in another sense, and unfortunately, that happiness was only going to last for only so
Ringing.
long. Yeah, it's someone else's ringing. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. Hey, he got it. Yes, I do. Like I said, she threw even an ultimatum. It even shows in a text that she threw an ultimatum. That's my main proof right there that she was beyond manipulating me. Like I said, she said, uh, "You know, this is the only way we can be together because if my mom, as long as my mom's alive, she will not let anyone get between me and her." She made that very clear. That's the way that she's seen it as because she knew from everything she must have experienced between whether it was the times that she ran away with the guy that tried to get her to kill her mom, and that's part of the reason why she realized that she couldn't do it. She tried to make someone else to do it. Well, that's the reason why she pressured and pressured and pushed and pushed and pushed as much as she could to make that happen. And she said that was the only way we'd be able to be together. Once I gave in, that was basically after pretty much arguing back and forth about it. I mean, she saw it as an ultimatum. Like, this is the
And you
only way
wanted to
we'll
be
be
with her,
together.
so
Otherwise, if you
that's
don't do
like
this,
you
I guess
did,
I
to
can't
you.
be
Was
with
there
you.
not really any
Basically, what
other
she
option
said.
because you wanted to be with her, right? Did you tell me that?
Correct. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, uh, uh, I was mainly the glue between me and her. I mean, I was the one that literally stuck us together. I mean, my relationship with her online, at first it started really, really good. And after a while, she started showing more of her true colors on the kind of issues that she would show and everything else. At times I was questioning, and she was even questioning herself that she might have been bipolar, but I'm not fully sure if she was because I didn't see any signs of it when I was around her. But as the time went on, while me and her were online, uh, she ended up making things more and more difficult for us while I fought tooth and nail to keep us together. And then just before I was to come down to Springfield to do what me and her talked about, even though she did the more in-depth details about it, I just ended up following along. Uh, just before that happened, that same night before it, we almost broke up. But I basically pleaded to her that just give us a chance to be together. Just one more day. You'll see that it's the distance between us is what's drawing us apart. And I ended up proving what I was saying to be true. That was what it really was. So, yeah, there was a time where we were in a complete struggle, but I was the one fighting for us. And I even argued to her about it in one of my arguments just before we ended up seeing each other the second time. And uh, I mean, at first she admitted it, but then she made it seem like she didn't even know what I was talking about. So after all that fighting, making it feel like it was basically an effort level of like 30% her side, my side 70%. I felt like there was no winning to it after I've gotten stuck in here. Because the next thing I know, she's talking behind my back and saying things that I would have never said
So
about
how
her.
did you
So
do you think that she, or
yeah,
was she the
it's
person that worked
quite
out the
sad to say
plan
the
of how
least.
you were going to do it?
I think she must have planned this out way, way, way in the future. I really believe that because There was stuff that I wasn't even aware about that she was obviously planning until she obviously introduced me into those part of the plans, and I'm thinking, okay, what did you think of this stuff? And she's like, "Hey, you left the planning up to me. So if you're leaving the planning up to me, I'm gonna do all I can to try to make it as close to as a perfect plan as possible." And she tried. I mean, well, me and her were together after I came to her house and everything else. She did everything in her power to try to protect me from what I noticed, except for that one error that she did, which led everyone to us. I mean, she was trying to cover up my freaking fingerprints. I mean, she was doing a lot of stuff that it showed that she cared, but in another sense, I had a side of me feel as if there was more to this whole situation than she was showing. I wasn't fully sure what it was, but I just knew that it was there. And I didn't notice it until, well, we got woken up by the police, and
And
that
so,
was
did you guys
not
research
the
different
greatest thing
methods of how you were going to
to
do it?
have to remember, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it says it clearly in the evidence that she read on her computer that apparently they found stuff on hers. Me, on the other hand, I was much more, since me being more tech savvy, I understood what happens with the databases and how they all get stored and everything else. So if I was to do any of that searching, I would have been much smarter with it. However, I would say allegedly that would have been possibly the case, even though they haven't found
So you
anything
think
on it
so?
on me from
She
what I'm
definitely did
aware
a
of.
lot of the
So
research.
that's the reason I have to say allegedly.
And
Yeah,
and so like, how do you feel about her now?
yeah. How do I feel about her now? That's the thing with me. She continues to break promise after promise after promise. Well, I'm at least keeping whatever ones I can keep still to this day. And one of them I ended up telling her, which is true. I ended up letting her know that no matter what happens, I'm always going to love her unconditionally. No matter what happens. Doesn't matter if we break off, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm always gonna love her unconditionally. To this day, I still do love her. I do love her. I can't say I'm in love with her because she killed the romance between us. She killed it due to what she did behind my back. Stuff I would have never done because I come from a background where I'm a lot more honorable, a lot more full of integrity, a lot more respectful. I wouldn't do that stuff. And because of it, it yeah, you could call it a heartbroken moment is what I'd call it once I first noticed it. And ever since then, uh, I mean, am I always gonna love her? I mean, it's the kind of if I had to put this in a more deeper perspective toward be understanding to where everyone could understand it, it's more like the kind of love that someone would ever feel for like an ex-wife or ex-husband and so forth, to where
And
they
how
know
do
they'll
you
always
think that
love
she
them,
feels about
but they
you?
realize they can't be with them. That's the way I feel about her now. You know, the thing is I think that she deep within her, I really believe she does regret what she did. I mean, to me and to her. I think she deeply down inside of it, and that's the reason why she's projecting it in such a negative light towards me, where she wants to blame me, blame me, blame me, but she's too afraid to take responsibility herself. Me knowing her as well as I do, me being able to see the inside of who she really is, I have been able to see things that most people aren't able to notice. And we've had some very, very deep conversations while we were in person, to the point where I really felt deeply connected with her. To the point, let's just say that she felt naked to me because there's nothing she could hide from me. And because of it, uh, that's part of the reason why I actually, in a weird sense, understand what she's doing. But in another deep sense, I believe she may say that she doesn't love me anymore, but her body language speaks completely different. I know for a fact that she still does love me. I know it for a fact. She just doesn't want to admit it to people because she feels ashamed about it, because she feels ashamed of what she made me do, and she doesn't want to, uh, let's say, say it in a proud sense because she feels that everyone must be shunning her about it, and because of it, it's making her feel like basically being in a constant defensive mode. And her way of defending herself is push it off to someone else and not take full responsibility. And that's just the way it is. Me, I'm gonna take full responsibility because that's
And
the way I was
so,
brought up. And
like, what
well,
exactly happened
that's
when you
only to
came
what of
inside of
course
the
is
house?
true.
Like, did
But
Gypsy
yeah.
open the door to you and like let you in? Like, she was obviously.
Oh yeah, she was deeply involved with it. I mean, just like it says in this police statements, like I said, right with while I was talking to them, it says just pretty much word for word what I told them. She told me before I ended up getting there in a text that there was latex gloves that be on the porch. She did say that right on the text is it's clear as day that you can actually see it. And then, well, I ended up finding them when I got there, and I let her know that I was at the door. She opened the door, and she made sure I had the gloves on before she gave me the weapon, and she made sure that she wouldn't let me open the door. She made sure I had those gloves on before either of those doors opened. So that's the reason why you ain't gonna see any fingerprints on in there, either any of that stuff. And then from that point on, well, my darker part of me took over, and because she knew right away that I admitted straight out to the whole thing that I was not going to get involved with this, no matter how much she tried to push me. It was going to have to be a darker side of me of some form that I have never had the opportunity to explore. So I did not know what it was capable of until that dark night. Once that night came, I knew fully well what it was capable of. And at that point there was no time going back because this from the first step I walked into the house, I knew there was no coming back. There was two thoughts that came in my mind. One was a benevolent thought, another one was a malevolent thought. It was almost like having a devil on one shoulder and a angel on the other. Basically what happened was I had one thought in my mind out of nowhere appear, and it just appeared. I didn't know. It was almost like, I guess you could call it God, is what everyone likes to call it. Him talking to you, or an angel talking to you through him, maybe. Basically saying, take her and run. That was the benevolent thought. Take her and run. As if it was the kind of feeling that it was basically trying to influence on me, as if I was somehow going to get away with it if I ran away with her, as if somehow we were able to keep her mom at bay better than she was able to in the past when she ran away. However, the other thought came in my mind was because it saw as basically because the darker part of me was also in love with the darker part of her, and because of it, the thought was is excuse my French, but it basically said this bitch is dead. Not letting her get between me and her. This bitch is dead. Basically, is what the thought was, and uh, unfortunately, I ended up listening to my darker side because I wanted to be with her, and I remember what she said, and I wanted to believe what she was saying, and unfortunately, I should have listened to my other part of me. Uh, ironic as I was trying to influence her to go with, but she never went with it. She never wanted to run away, so I couldn't get that to work. But, anyways, as the whole thing happened, she ended up as I was walking through the hallway that led to her room, her mom's room, and so forth. Uh, she ended up going to the bathroom. She locked it, and I waited at least a minute and thought about if I really wanted to do it. And before I was to do it, allegedly, I was willing to do it. The next thing I know, I ended up going right into it and thought there was no going back because I had myself on my word, and I was not one to break my word to really anyone at all if I had one to keep at the time. If it was worth keeping, I was going to keep it. And that's what led me to
Nick, the
do
video
it.
is
And
going to
is
cut off in a
I
minute,
loved her so
but
deeply that I
remember
was
whatever
not going to
you
change
just
my
did to
mind.
that thing.
I
And should we try
didn't want to
again
break my word.
tomorrow?
Oh,
Bye.
okay. Yep. All right. Sounds good.
How are you doing?
uh, just waking up.
Yeah, are you tired?
No. I'm
No?
actually not. Well, I'm actually pretty refreshed, actually.
Let me just make this full screen. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got to talk again. What happened with your lockdown? What was that all about?
They were having us all clean and all different stuff. Yeah, it was all over the place what they were doing.
Is it annoying when they do that?
Yeah.
So do you just want to start? Like, should we just start with the questions? With some more questions?
Okay.
Yeah, you happy to?
Sure.
I was hoping what you could do for me is because each of do you remember I explained to you before that not all the time we don't always include they won't include my voice on the questions, and so I guess in oh that thing's happening again. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did see it.
Um, and so because sometimes so they won't include my questions, and sometimes it's really good to just get from you like you know how you would tell a story, so you're sort of like setting the scene, right? So instead of me saying like, when Gypsy sent you the first message, you would probably say something like, one day I got a message from Gypsy and it said, would you kill my mum? You're sort of telling it like a story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Do you think that you could do that for me? And it doesn't have to be a long description, but maybe introduce just a line, because basically we want you to look and sound as like intelligent and clear as we possibly can. And so by by sort of introducing you like this and by you talking like this, it just seems like you're a much clearer talker just because they don't include me. So I know it's a little bit frustrating, but it would be really amazing if we could just get like maybe a line from you, like, one day I was on Facebook chat with Gypsy, and she said to me, "Would you kill my mum? This is the only way we can be together." And I thought, does that make sense? Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, but I like staying along the truth. That's the reason I present it the way I do, though.
Yeah, of course, totally. And like and what you do present is perfect. And I don't want you to say anything that didn't happen or say anything that isn't how you want to say something. But what I mean is that like I want you to come across as best as you possibly can. And because they're cutting me out of it, it means sometimes they might not be able to use what you say because if it's not sort of introduced properly, like we won't know the context because they cut me out. So like I'm not doing it to try and change anything that you say or how you say anything, but I just want it to sound, I just want you to sound as best as you possibly can. So everybody we interview, we ask to just do that. So I was just hoping that we could get a line from you that would just introduce the context a little bit, because you've given us loads of really great content. It's just we need that line from you at the beginning so they know what we're talking about. Does that make sense?
Okay. Mhm.
So could you try and do that for me? And you like I say it in your own way, say it how it actually happened, but something along the lines of one day I got, and you can sort of just finish that off, I guess, if you're comfortable with it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And you've got like a million times to try it if you want.
Okay. Uh. All right. Yeah, in my own words. Uh. One night. After Gypsy came online, she had a very, very disturbing question for me. First, she asked me if I could basically, if it something that she wanted me to answer, and she said she had a question for me. I was like, okay, baby, what is it? And then she basically asked me if I could even kill her mom since I said I'd do anything for her. And I made sure she was serious about this. I asked her 3 times if she was serious about it. and she wouldn't budge. She stayed straight to the point, and she said, I might have been joking in the past because she was doing it in a joking manner up to this point, but she wasn't in any form of joking manner when she said it this time. She really asked me, "Did you kill my mom?" So yeah.
And what was it that she wrote? What had she typed? Was it literally just "Will you kill my mum"?
Well, the way that she actually wrote it on the Facebook message was even kill my mom. Uh, yeah, because I first answered her, yeah, I'd be willing to do anything for you, and that's when she said even kill my mom, and then that's when yeah, it shocked me, and I ended up making sure she was serious about it before we were to go any further with that conversation about it. And yeah, pretty darn serious. Well, allegedly, but yes, just to protect myself in the whole court system part. But yeah,
I understand. Well, but like you, you're not saying, you're just saying that she did ask you to, and we all know that she did ask that. She admits to it, I think. Um, I don't know whether I didn't see on the Dr. Phil whether she admitted to it. She did, I think, didn't she?
yeah. And then
Mm.
she apparently was bragging on it on another program, 2020.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Have you?
No, but someone's best friend told me how the interview went. So yeah,
Right. Who told you that?
it was one of my it was the trustee in here's best friend.
Right.
Not who it was.
And so you said to me that there's this dark side of you, right? This dark part of you that kind of took over when you were in the situation in Springfield. Um, and I was just wondering if you could explain to me what is this? And talk about it in context of the story, I guess, would be most helpful. That you know that there was this darker side of me that basically came out that night. Could you explain something a bit about that? Because it was a dark side that you hadn't really necessarily explored before, wasn't it? And something happened to you when you were outside the house. Um, so I guess did the dark side come out while you were outside the house, or did you feel that it didn't happen until you were inside the house? And yeah, when did you think that this sort of dark side was coming out?
Well, I felt a change in me as soon as I had put on the latex gloves, and just as I let her know that I was outside the door waiting to go in. Uh, I did feel a change just click in me, like there was something drastic about to happen, and uh, obviously at the time I wasn't ready for it. As soon as she let me in the door, I felt the full effect of it, and it was basically the very first step that I stepped in the door. It was basically one of those situations where I felt uh, as if it was in a life altering situation. Basically, I felt the full effect of it in such a context that it's one of those situations you would have to experience to understand it in full context of it. Uh, I basically had two thoughts pop in my head. One was take her and run. The other was, excuse my French, but this bitch is dead. She's not going to get between me and her. And that's basically what the other thought was. And of course, as the dark side tends to do, they are very good at manipulating people, unfortunately. So, after a good minute or possibly plus of arguing while I was at the door away of her mom's bedroom, I ended up ultimately deciding to get rid of her mom only because I felt like for one she was in our way, and for two I was stuck to my word. So uh, that part of me basically made the argument that if she is going to get between us, she doesn't need to be around. And unfortunately, that's the way that he made me look at it as. As I made basically an oath to her, a promise to her by me agreeing to do it due to the way that I worded what I said when I basically told her I would be willing to do anything to be with her. It pretty much had me stuck in a trap where I wasn't able to get out of it, and I felt uh, the need to keep my word, even if it was something I didn't want to keep. And the next thing I know, it convinced me. It was like basically thoughts going in my head. Basically, is what it was. One thought after another. Um, and once that happened, there was no going back. After that minute was over with, didn't take long at all for her mom felt the full effect of what happened. Unfortunately, and it's not a gruesome night I want to remember.
And so, what, like, once that night, like that night, I guess, was that the first, that was when you had the realization, right? That you had this part of you that just totally took over and was capable of things that you maybe never thought you were capable of. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's the only thing is me as who I know myself as the identity of who I am before I knew about this part of me. I've always been very much on along the honor path and everything else to the point where actually I would acknowledge police officers and everything else as just a citizen saying hi to them. I mean, I was very, very respectful, but this other side of me is completely the opposite. And I've learned that it is probably the very essence of the word evil, unfortunately. It had no problem doing what happened with her mom. And quite frankly, I would never ever hurt Gypsy. However, that side of me threatened that she would be gone if she said anything. And then, yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm unhappy with what's going on because I feel like I can't even trust myself around her now.
Mm. Because of sort of like how angry you are, or how hurt, I guess. Hurt's probably a better word, right, than anger.
Pete, is probably the word I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah. Feeling a
And
form
so,
of resentment, but yeah.
and so, like, could you tell me, so the reason that you did this, and I guess what you've said to me before is that you loved her so deeply that you know you were going to do anything for her, and there was no changing your mind once you'd agreed. You stuck to your word. That's something you said quite a lot, right? Could you just tell me
Yep.
that again?
Yes, yes. It is very true. I actually did always keep my word. It didn't matter if it was because she would start up arguments just so this way she could get me online. This is back before I even had internet at home, so I'd have to go to other places, whether it was a McDonald's or the library or so forth. I mean, she started one just so this way I could actually go through a blizzard just to freaking talk to her online. One that I had to make her clear to her that happened, and then she starts another argument in another situation where she tries to get me online. This time I'm trying to go to the library, and then on the way back from the library, my freaking uh, laptop gets totally uh, drenched out basically and gets short circuit wired to the point where it just doesn't want to turn on because I end up walking through something that's similar to like a monsoon. The only difference is we don't have monsoons up in my area that I was at, but it was such a heavy down rain pour that it made me feel like I was in one. Even though it was short lived, it felt like it was a lot longer than it actually was. So yeah, those are two situations. I even ended up accidentally hurting myself on one time to the freaking yeah. Like I said, I've done so darn much with keeping my word that risking so much as it was that she thought she could push me, and I wish I would have saw it way ahead of time. This way, I would have been more ready for it at the time that she asked me such a devastating question. So, yeah, uh, anytime that it was me freaking keeping my word on something, I was full-heartedly devoted to making sure I kept it, even if I should have maybe backed off a little. Unfortunately, I wasn't that way. I was too stubborn for my own good, unfortunately.
And why did you keep your word? Like what, why her? Why what was it that was making you keep your word?
Well, the thing is I kept my word with all my other exes for the most part. I didn't be able to do it like I did it with her, though. With other ones, due to us being further away or so forth, we were only able to get so close. With her, for some darn reason, I was willing to go the extra mile just because I was that much more in love. And I think that's what pushed me to the point where I felt uh, if it took every SN fiber of my very being to freaking make sure I kept my word, I was going to. And she's the first person I keep my full word with. Uh, I wasn't able to do it with anyone else until I met her. Uh, but unfortunately, she had ill intentions. I wish I would have saw those ill intentions. So this way, I would maybe try to adjust the way that I kept my word when I was with her, so I'd still be able to keep it. But at the same time, word things in a way to where I would not put myself in such a uh, easy trap to fall into, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's basically because the way I worded my words is the reason why she was able to manipulate me into the situation that I ended up being in, and was able to use my own words against me, since she knew that I wasn't going to turn back from them.
Was she the first person that you properly loved? Maybe is that why you could keep your word this time, do you think?
Well, I mean, my first love was a girl way before I met her, but as my love for her developed when I was with her, on the other hand, uh, it was such a strong freaking development over the period of time I was with her across online and such that um there was times that I would get more frustrated than I would when I was with someone else at another time over maybe something similar to what I'd be dealing with her, whether it be over online or even after the very first time that we got the chance to see each other in person. It intensified it even more to the point where I felt like this is getting too ridiculously strong, and I didn't know how to handle such pressure. I think that's the reason why our relationship started breaking down after the first time I was with her in person, much more. Before that time, we were actually being able to hold on pretty well. I guess you could say the battling urges of our body just got to us so badly to the point where we couldn't control it. And that's the reason why we fought all the time almost. Started, let's see, once a week, turned into every other day. And by the time, just before I went down to Springfield the second time, by that time we were fighting every day. So, yeah, it, the, I that entire time was the glue that kept us together through every single one of those arguments. And of course, I got a slap in the face in return. But as they say, love is pain. Oh well.
Tell me what it was like the day that you got the Greyhound bus and you turned up in Springfield. How did you feel? What was that like? Like not
Um,
the day you came to the cinema, like the time that you came down for the actual what you'd planned, to play out what you'd planned. Tell me about how you were feeling and your thought process.
yeah. Um, on there, when it came to me coming out to Springfield the second time, the thoughts that were coming on my head and everything else was, well, she kept in contact with me through with her. So I felt excited to get a chance to possibly be with her for the rest of my life is what I was hoping for, as I believe that's what she was hoping for. Um, and I mean, and yeah, I was excited to get a chance to see her. As for the actual plan of how I felt about the whole plan, I was originally, as a whole being, whether it's my good side or my bad side, pretty much my whole self, I was excited just to be around her because both sides of me fell in love with her already by the time that I was gonna get on the bus to go down there and everything else. Um, the only reason why I was willing to go on the bus was because I wanted to see her. When it comes to my good side of me, the bad side of me, on the other hand, or the evil side is what I'd rather call it. Um, that side of me, of course, it had more plans than just seeing her. Uh, uh, I hate admitting that, but it's the truth. It had more plans than that. If I could have turned back, I would have turned back. If I knew the very essence of how serious it was with its intentions, I probably would have for sure turned back. And unfortunately, it's only because I would have probably maybe been able to get her to change her mind on what she was thinking. Because I think that as I now look back at the past on how our arguments happened and everything else, whole being, but the other part of me felt that it had a purpose to get done and it wasn't going to settle with anything else more than that purpose getting fulfilled. Uh, and it's really interesting though because that side of me, the way that it viewed it is basically her mom getting between me and her. So it viewed it in a protective sense. And it might sound as if it was evil with the way that it projected itself out, but it had its own intentions of obviously making sure she knew that there's no way I was gonna let anyone get between me and her. And that side was more willing to do it than uh, this side of me. I was, if it would have been my good part of me, the one that's now speaking, I probably would have maybe got between me and the person, uh, where she wouldn't been able to obviously be harmed or anything. I would have maybe just protected her from being, make sure, like she's behind me or something like that. I wouldn't have went to the extreme that the other part of me did. So yeah, there's a drastic difference between both sides of me. Um, definitely drastic, just blah, drastic difference. But yeah,
And so tell me, so when you turned up at the house, how did you get there? Did you get a taxi, or explain that to me? And what was it like outside? Was it
yeah,
dark? And what's going through your head?
yeah. It was uh 1 o'clock, almost 1:15. Probably by the time the actual taxi got to me, I would say. Um, uh, I was about let's see, almost there. Probably about by 1:27, I want to say. And probably by the time I got there, it was almost 1:30 in the morning. This was on June 10th of 2015 is when this was happening. Since the police can't seem to get it right. Literally,
Mhm. So walk me through getting out of the taxi. So like, if you say to me, I got out of the taxi and I saw the house. Like, what did you see? Just sort of create for me an image of what it, those moments before you go into the house, what you see and how you feel.
well, uh, well, after I got out of the taxi, before I did get out of the taxi. Well, I was in the taxi. I should first mention this. Before I got out, just before I pulled up to the house, I did mention that the other part of me, once I could feel it from all the thoughts it was giving me and everything else, uh, it basically was making it clear that if it comes out, there's no going back. It's gonna do it, and it's gonna make sure it got successful with what it was gonna do. I was trying to explain that to her so this way she would understand that uh, the second I step in there, which I wasn't fully aware of it at the time, but it's almost like I, in a sense, knew that when the second I stepped in there, it was gonna change drastically with how I felt to the point where there was no going back. It was really weird because that's the way I actually felt. I was trying to explain to her that just before I got there, and uh, then and then after that, I just let her know when I was about to pull up, and then I did let her know that basically I was there and I was ready. At that point, my other part of me was already out, uh, partially to where it was ready to go full force out. I think that's the reason why I felt such a drastic change once had my very first step into the house, is because that other part of me was already partially out already to where a degree to where it would be able to take over the second that I stepped in, and I wasn't aware of it. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. Ooh, 1 minute left.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's got this funny ticker on the time. It's like a clock saying like it's counting down now, which puts loads of pressure on me. Um, do you mind if I schedule another visit? Maybe
Sure,
we could chat again tomorrow.
I'm
Is
totally cool with that.
that
Yeah.
okay? Yeah. Okay. So maybe if I just do that, yeah, I'll just schedule it now, and then it means you can accept it either now or like tomorrow. But I'll do it straight away, and then it means that you can get it straight away. You can
Okay,
accept it
sounds
straight
good.
away if you can. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll talk to you
Yep.
tomorrow
Bye,
then.
Sophie. Yeah.
Bye. Have a
Yeah,
good
you
day.
too. Yep.
Hey, so good to see you, Nick. Don't have a lot of time for the interview, so we're just gonna jump right into it, okay?
All right. All right.
All right, so Nicholas, the first question I have for you is why are you agreeing to do this interview today?
Uh. Well. I'm agreeing. Mainly to get my voice heard because I feel it as an urgent need. So yeah, that's why.
What is it that you feel needs to be told to our viewers?
Uh. Well. Let basically letting know the viewers who I really am and not who I am not. So, uh, due to how everyone seems to be betraying me in such a negative light as of late, I feel that it's only fair that my voice gets out there to give a more accurate image of myself.
And what do you think that image is?
Well, for me, I'm more of, that was the way I was brought up. I was raised more as a person full of anger, honor, and integrity. Uh, Not only that, originally, whether it was my father, my mom, or anyone really in my family, any of my uh, superiors, mainly ones who were older than me, they all basically rose me to have respect, honesty, all those things a noble person normally is supposed to have. Uh, of course, due to one of my mental and my main mental disability, it's quite easy for me to be deceived, unfortunately.
And let's get into that deception, Nicholas. Obviously, you had a relationship with Gypsy. Why did you feel it was necessary to take Dee Dee's life?
Uh, well, the main reason this all even transpired was basically due to the love that I felt that was equally shared between me and Gypsy Blanchard. However, I've learned that as of late that she may have just been using me, which is sad because I felt it was much more real than that at the time.
At what point during your relationship with Gypsy did you find out about the scam that her and her mother were involved in terms of pretending that Gypsy had all these illnesses that she didn't have?
Actually, as for the illnesses part, I found that out almost shortly after me and her first started talking on Facebook, which went from a Christian dating site known as ChristianDatingForFree.com, and we were on there for maybe a few days, and then went from there to next thing you know, Facebook, and it's really weird because I went from just trying to get to know her on one site to being willing to pretty much open myself up like a full open book to where once we got to the other one, and I'm still confused on why that happened that way, but it did. And when it happened that way, I almost instantly learned about the medications. Of course, I learned that not all of them are actually fully what she was actually supposed to be taking. Most of them are all just stuff that her mom was forcing her to take that was by far not needed.
So, did you feel sorry for Gypsy and you took Dee Dee's life because you wanted her to escape that pain that she was going through?
Um, I did feel as if Gypsy was going through trauma, whether it was the abuse with medication or the abuse of being forced to be staying in a chair, or even the abuse of her being stuck in a room for so long because uh, her mom would be doing things in a physical abusive way, like chaining her to the bed, or even other physical abuse, like her being beaten with really anything her mom could find. And all this stuff I felt shouldn't transpire. I felt like as if, unfortunately, I didn't think anyone would come to her call. And if she tried to go to the police, they would have, due to the way that her mom was making her betray to look as, she would have basically looked as a like a lunatic that no one would want or would believe due to what her mom would be putting in everyone else's head. So she felt like it was a non-escapable path upon it, and she needed someone to understand her enough to be willing to basically risk their life for her, which is unfortunate that that had to go the way it did, because originally I wanted to just run away with her, but she kept on persisting on this alternative thing that really didn't seem to pan out in the way that it never was obviously meant to. Yeah.
Hey Nick, can you kind of stand? Can you sit up straight just like that so we see your whole face?
Yeah.
My next question for you is: so it sounds like this was Gypsy's idea. Unlike what she's telling other media outlets, this was her idea, not your idea, right? You said you tried to talk her out of it.
Yes, I did. I tried to do it multiple times, unfortunately. And then it's only unfortunate because it never succeeded.
And she didn't want to just run away because she felt like there was a chance her mom would come after her and bring her back to that situation.
Yep. since she had warned me that she's tried it twice before, and she's only mentioned one of those times in the media. The other, apparently, she almost got close to killing her mother, but however, she couldn't do it. Uh, she was attempting to do it mainly for someone that she had an infatuation with, and well, she found out later that it was just infatuation, but yet the person keeps using her to this day. So yeah, it's very sad.
And how do you feel about Gypsy portraying you as the bad guy in the situation?
Well, it's unfortunate because it's the way that she was brought up. She was brought up to lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. She was brought up to basically uh play the victim role. That's the way she was brought up. She's only doing what she was taught. Believe me, she was brought up in a much more better uh environment, a much more better people around her. Not just her mom always around her, always holding pretty much holding her down for who she could really be. I can almost guarantee she would have never asked me that dreadful question.
And you've said that you feel like you were a hired hitman. You really loved her. So how does that make you feel now that she's saying you were just a hired hitman?
Uh, it's a severely unfortunate situation because even now, even after she basically is admitting to everyone in the media that she was basically using me to get rid of her mother, which is very, very, very not only uh, evil thing to even admit right on national television, which I still to this day, well, I kind of wish she would have admitted earlier because, well, I was mainly the one person who was trying to make her a better person while her mom was trying to keep her the way that she was. And that's part of the reason why now I feel it's more of a slap in the face. Because, yeah, it's one of those situations where you feel that you have done all you could for the person, and if the person doesn't want to feel appreciation towards you for all you've tried to do for them, then I guess it's one of those stones you gotta throw into the water and move forward, unfortunately. You make it as if loosen the load that you're having to hold upon. It's basically an analogy, it's basically what I'm using. However, now I been slowly and trying the best I can to heal from the situation, and from everything I have been trying to get over and get through. It's been a rough road. I will not deny it has not been. It has. Uh, but I know that within time always heals. So I'm hopeful that it will.
Do you think Gypsy should have received more than 10 years in jail?
I'm. That's the thing with me is that I feel has actually. It's sad. It's so sad. She, yes, maybe about the same amount I was maybe trying to attend to get. I'm still trying to get 15, and that's where I still stand. I'm still trying to get that. I would have been happy if me and her would have gotten the same exact amount of time. I'm not one of those people where I'm gonna be trying to wish her a life sentence or any crap like that, like she did to me. I'm not a conniving person like that. It's just not in my blood. It's not in my genetics. It's not who I am. That's part of the reason why when she does what she does, I can't blame her. I can only understand that that's the way she was brought up. But me personally, if we would have both gotten 15, I would have felt it was fair. Since she's gotten 10 and I'm still trying to at least get 15, uh, really, yeah, exactly. It's a pretty hard road to get to that point, but God willing, it should for sure happen.
And so, according to you, Nicholas, you feel like justice would be 15 years for both you and Gypsy? That would be what fair justice looks like?
To me, yeah.
What is your defense going to be in this case?
Uh, well, there's two parts of it. One, I was planning on using my mental disability, which is clearly documented, from multiple psychiatrists and uh, ones who have studied psychology. So really, I mean, I have a therapist from when I was 15 years old who said because they had family member who was one with Asperger syndrome. They was the first ones who mentioned when I was 15 years old that I had that and I didn't have the more form of that is severe of autism. I didn't have that, and I didn't have anything less either. So, really, with that being said, um, I learned of that term, and then I ended up having to look it up to learn more about the certain patterns and everything else. And once I learned about it, I started noticing things about myself that did match in with it. And then the next time it happened was in 2009 when I was trying to receive Social Security benefits from SSI. And I was accepted on that too because uh, psychiatrist that the state hired of Wisconsin could not find anything of me faking it or anything else because it was just really how I was. And uh, that's two of them. And then you move forward to 2015. Uh, and I believe it was December of that year, I ended up seeing another doctor, and then move forward in 2016, see another one. So they all of them have admitted I have it, but the prosecution's defense is trying to make it seem as if I only have level one when I actually have level two, which requires some supervision, not heavy supervision, just enough to where they're making sure I'm not getting into any trouble, basically. Which now I understand that now when it's been a bit too late.
So, you mentioned you had two reasons that you were going to say for your defense. One is your mental disability. What's the second one?
The second one would be uh, basically manipulation. The second reason would be manipulation, because I will not deny it because she's done it for so long to the entire public, and that's part of the reason why the public is having a hard time believing what she's saying. She's was obviously trained by the very best before her mom unfortunately passed away. Uh, Her mom taught her very well how to basically master manipulation, master lying, master deceiving great audiences of people. And because of it, she knows what she's doing when she lies. Unfortunately, she's very, very good at it to the point where people won't know that she's lying to them just because she can do it without any conscience at all, which to this day boggles my mind. But because of that master of manipulation that she is able to do, she had no problems manipulating me into the situation. I wish I would have known it was more manipulation than love, because if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have been in the situation I'm in. And I probably wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. But yeah,
Do you have any regrets looking back now?
the only regret I have is basically not seeing the signs that stuff was not uh, in a good light to unfold. That's basically what I have mainly regrets of. The only thing I don't regret is getting her out of that situation. I regret, however, the way that I had to get her out of the situation, but I don't regret getting her out of it. If I would have been able to run away with her, I wouldn't have any regrets at all. But due to me finding out, well, that she was using me, I maybe do regret putting my heart out there, but in another way, I don't regret it only because it has made me a stronger person. As they always say, no pain, no gain. So, yeah, it has made me a stronger person. I will say, however, that when it comes to um, the way I feel about her now, I still love her to this day. That's never gonna change. I will always love her. I promised her that would never change. I'd always unconditionally love her. I always will. Um, if she wanted to be friends with me, I'd be fine with it. If she didn't, then I'm fine with it too. I'm I'm one of them type of people where I try to be as happy-go-lucky as possible. I try not to let everything bother me too easily. However, being in a place like I am, it's not easy to do. And well, even people in here ask how I stay so positive. I think for one, my mom has always told me before I ended up coming down here to Springfield and got stuck down here like I am now. She's always been telling me all the times that she was video visiting me up in Wisconsin that she's strong like I am and I can handle this and I'll be fine. And she basically was giving me the support I never had throughout almost my entire life. That emotional support I never thought I'd ever receive from her. So, yeah, that, and then you also have the support of my father, which to this day I still talk to every once in a while. So, uh, every little support I've gotten has been able to keep me from basically losing my mind, which every little support I have, I definitely appreciate. And I never take anything for granted, no matter how it comes in its form. I never do because I know that every day you never know if you'll be gone the next. It has to be one of those days where you take it as it comes and appreciate everything you can within that day, whether it's just living in general and move forward. And that's the way I perceive it all.
So after all of this, Nicholas, you still love Gypsy?
Yes. I basically promised her that I will always love her and it's true, I do. I still love her. But however, I'm not in love with her since that's a little different. Due to what she's done, it has killed my romance that me and her had between each other. And that's mainly where I stand. I still love her, but I'm not in love with her.
What is it about Gypsy that caused her to manipulate you in the way she did? What is it about her that made you love her so much?
Well, I had it as no secret to her. I was basically like an open book to her. She knows that everything from little details like whether it was her height. I mean, I've always been more fond of the shorter women. There's no secret to that. I've always been fond of the shorter ones just because that's just my preference. However, that along with everything else about her, originally, obviously, she created these perfect personalities that would attract me to her and keep her basically to where she didn't have to worry about me being disinterested at some point. And she kept my attention creating all these things. And it's unfortunate because who knows if they're all real. Till this day, I'm not fully sure they even are.
Are you still in contact with her?
Nope. And I choose not to be due to court situations, since she's considered a witness now.
So she hasn't reached out to you,
Nope.
and you haven't reached out to her?
No.
What would you say to her today if you could relay a message to her?
Uh, well, the only thing I would really would tell her is that You might have betrayed me and turned your back on me, but that's not going to stop me from loving you. I'm always going to love you, whether you want to accept it or not. I'm always going to love you. Even if you don't want to accept that, that's your choice. But if you still want to keep our friendship, we can keep our friendship. I just don't want nothing any more damaging to get between us than what has already has transpired. If you don't want to be my friend, I'm perfectly okay with that. Just know though that no matter what happens, you'll always have someone that loves you, even if you never believe that you do. Basically, just let her know that she will always have someone who loves her. I might not be willing to the extreme that I was manipulated to at this point, but I'd still be willing to do other things for her as long as they're much more smaller than what has happened because I'm now in a more cautious position than I originally was before. And now I feel as if she needs to basically really think about what's going on more before she speaks because even though she might not be able to get tried for any more charges and so forth, she's basically trying to do what she's trying to do for her public image when really there are facts out there that aren't very good about her. And that's part of the reason why I only caution her with the way that she perceives herself to the public. Me, I'm just gonna be my real self. I'm not gonna try to perceive myself as someone I'm not. And if the public accepts me that way, they accept me that way. If they don't, well, I'll accept it as if I'm a nobody. That's totally fine with me. I'm humble as they get, so it doesn't bother me.
Hey, Nick, I want to kind of backtrack a little bit and ask you one more question about your Asperger's. How do you think that played a role exactly in you killing Dee Dee on that night?
Well, Asperger's syndrome is very well documented, whether it's through studies or even websites dedicated to it. I mean, there's uh, symptoms, I guess you would call, of the actual syndrome. That one of them, ironically, is being gullible to people's opinions. Uh, very easily, actually, in fact. And uh, I've actually been gullible almost all my life. That is something I will admit. I have been gullible almost all my life. I, I've slowly been getting more and more wise as I age, but um, it's a very slow process due to Asperger's. Since for me, the best way I can describe it is a learning disability. I was in special education while I was growing up, almost throughout my entire uh, high school, elementary, middle school, all those type of years. I was through a special education. Originally, they had me listed as a severe form of autism, meaning autism itself, and then they lowered it down to just being a higher functioning form, which is known as Asperger's syndrome. So due to the intelligence of those with my disability, we can seem so normal, but yet we still have certain symptoms of it. Like, for example, if I get put under too much pressure, my mind can go blank and I won't know what to say, or
Hey,
other
Nicholas,
things
can you
of
Nicholas,
that
can you sit
nature.
up straight? Can you sit
Yeah.
up straight? Scoot to the left a little bit. Hey, one other question. You had mentioned to me about your alter ego, Nikolai, the evil side of you that killed Dee Dee. Can you talk about that briefly?
I barely knew anything about that part of me until, well, what happened. I mean, the first time I was aware of it and it freaked me out was me being around 14, 15 years old, and I seen a glimpse of something in my eye, and I didn't know what it was. It was just like a glimpse of something in my eye, and then I felt as if, what do you call it? A dreadful like feeling came upon me, as if something wasn't right, and it was almost like whatever it was that I noticed in my eyes, almost like something gnawing and letting me know that I was to be aware of it being around. And at the time, it was just a dreadful feeling that I didn't understand because I was so young. But uh, I basically tried to get Gypsy to be willing to explore that part of me for me to understand it better without uh, letting it get out of control. And then she, instead of just explored it in a like conditioned way to where it wouldn't be out of control, she ended up taking advantage of it. So, uh, yeah, she ended up angering it more and more with basically provoking it that it wouldn't do certain things and so forth. And it used it as an advantage.
All right, Nicholas, we have 1 minute. Any final thoughts, any final words you want to share with our viewers before the end of the interview?
The only other thing I want to say is that I do uh, have my heart go out to all of Gypsy's family for what happened to their daughter or sister or aunt, and I wish this would have ended a much more less drastic way than it did. But just let everyone know that I appreciate this opportunity and thank you.
Well, Nicholas, I certainly appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for being transparent with me, and I wish you the best.
Yep, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Amazing. Okay. Right, let me see. I'm just going to make it big. How are you doing?
Good.
Did you have a nice Christmas?
Yes, yes.
Do they try and do something nice for you?
Uh, Mainly just a meal. That's all they really
Yeah.
did.
Is it like a different kind of meal?
Uh, they try to make it as much like Christmassy as possible.
Okay.
You know.
Did you get to talk to your father or anybody?
Yep.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's good.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, you know that we wanted to ask you some questions. So Jesse's not going to be here with me, obviously, because it's Christmas time and he's in America and I'm at home. But I thought that if you don't mind, I'll just go into asking you some questions straight away. Before I do that, I need to just basically tell you about, before you get filmed for anything, I have to read to you just something to see if you understand that basically we're using it for the purposes of the documentary, that we'll put your face in the documentary, and it's just to get your permission, like we did before.
Yep.
Are you laughing?
No, just here.
I thought you were laughing at me because I was rustling my papers.
No, I am.
Like a news reporter. So I just want to, and if you could just answer yes to this, if that's your answer. And also, what I'm going to do, Nick, is when I start recording, I'm just going to get rid of my face because nobody wants to see my face. If that's okay.
Ah, such a pretty face. That's okay.
But no one wants to see it in the film, trust me. So yeah, if you can just confirm that that you give us permission to record this video interview for the purposes of the documentary that we're making about the death of Dee Dee Blanchard.
Yes.
Yep. And if you agree that we can use any part of this interview with your name and any accounts of your life that you've given us for the show and for the promotion of the show.
Yes, as long as it's the truth, yes.
Yeah. And are you aware that the production could be broadcast in theory all over the world in any media format forever and ever?
Yes.
Okay. And just to clarify, that you're aware that the prison's probably recording this conversation, and so anything you do say could potentially be used in your up and coming trial. But you know that, don't you? That all things they record. Just want to make sure you know that before I ask you questions and I don't want you to feel like we're making you, don't say anything that you don't feel comfortable saying, knowing that we're recording and that they're probably recording. Is that okay?
Yep.
Great. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to make you full screen. You'll have to bear with me. I haven't done this before. And I think I'm going to get rid of my video. 1 second. Yeah, can you still hear me though?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. 1 second. So when we're asking questions, to when we're interviewing somebody, usually what we ask them to say is, and I know you'll get this, but they won't hear me. So what they'll want is, usually if you could include your answer, include the question in your answer. So for example, if I said to you, what did you have for breakfast this morning, Nick? You would say, for breakfast this morning I had, just so that they understand what you're saying. So for the first question, I wanted to ask you about the idea of killing Gypsy's mum and how that came about. Did Gypsy ask you to do that? And so when you answer that, you could say, you don't say yes, but you would say Gypsy, or one day Gypsy, we were talking on Facebook chat or whatever, and she asked me to do this. Could you talk us through how you how she sort of approached that idea?
Yeah.
And could you look up as well? That's it, like you're looking now. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Do you want me to walk you guys through right now?
Yeah, so just explain to us, it wasn't your idea, was it? It was Gypsy's idea. And tell me about how she approached you with that and how you found out that that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, originally it was gradually. We were talking on Facebook at the time, and what happened was apparently she was fighting a lot with her mom. Uh, the more and more she fought with her, it started in like a gradually like a joking manner, but it got serious, and every single time she asked me about it, went from a joking manner of asking me to a serious tone of it, and well, I tried to explain to her the whole situation and how it was very, very serious what she was asking me, but apparently she didn't care on how it would affect the overall view of the whole situation. And next thing you know, she asks me in a serious tone, and well, me being in love with her as much as I was, ended up making it to where I was kind of, I guess you could call it, cornered into answering yes, that I would do it for her, mainly because I told her I would do anything to be with her, and I wasn't one to break my word while I was with her. So it made me feel cornered into having to answer yes, due to the fact that I wasn't one to lie to her.
And if you could try and look up when you talk, just so it's almost like, yeah, that's perfect. So what did she say? Did she say to you, like, what was like the words, if you remember them, in her message? Did she say, I don't know, like, Nick, will you kill my mum? Do you remember what she said?
She actually said, as I remember it pretty dang well, she then ended up saying, I have a question for you. And I'm like, okay, what is it? Uh, uh, she asked me then after that, what would you be willing to do to be with me? I'm like, well, anything. And then she said, anything, even include kill my mom for me. And I'm like, only if you're serious about that. Uh, I don't like to break my word, so yes, I would do that only if you're serious about that, because that's a very serious thing you're asking me. And the situation would be one of those where you cannot go back once you've gone that direction. Uh, Apparently, she made it seem like she understood it, but even then, and in that scenario, I didn't feel like she was using me, but maybe over time went on, I started thinking about it more and more, and well, started believing that she might have been using me after I started seeing symbols of it. I mean, her behavior when she got incarcerated changed, and that's what started making me believe that she, for the most part, was using me. Yeah.
And how does that make you feel now? Do you still love her?
Well, I never lied to her, and that's the problem. I did tell her before that I loved her unconditionally, and still to this day, I still love her. I can't say that I'm in love with her because she's killed that romance between me and her, but I still do love her. I mean, she asked me to do something for her, still, I probably would still do it. Probably maybe not to the degree that what I've done before, because quite honestly, I feel that she's not only betrayed my trust, but also has tried to make me look out to be a fool more so than I originally was willing to go to. I mean, I went all out for her. I put my neck out as far as I could for her, and I feel that she's quite frankly ungrateful for it.
So when she asked you to do that, were you shocked?
I had to agree with myself before I ended up telling her what I had to, and first I hesitated because what happened was I first kept on asking her, just out of shock. I asked her. I was basically telling her, "Are you sure you really want this?" And she said yes. She said it 3 times because I said that question 3 times, and I was just surprised. I was like, "Wow." After that, I decided to make it clear to her that this situation was not one to be trifled with very lightly. It's very serious. Once we go with such a situation like this, there's no going back. I made it clear to her. And apparently, uh, at this point, I realized that she doesn't care. She didn't care that it was that far. She even went so far to say, while we were on Facebook, just to even tell me that um, she couldn't believe it, but she actually admitted to me that she uh, considered that she loved me more than her own mom, so she was willing to put me in front of her mom due to how much she, at the time, claimed that she loved me. But maybe at the time she did love me, and then the thing is in theory, I believe that um, when it comes to true love, love doesn't die out. It doesn't matter how long it's been, and no matter doesn't matter the distance between two people. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. So for her to go on Dr. Phil and say that she basically used to love me, that basically tells me she was just flattered. And I was truly, seriously in love with her. That's something that, yeah, I guess you could say I put my full heart into, and because I put my full heart into it, I shouldn't have been made to look like a fool in the way I was, uh, with such a serious commitment that I put into it. And due to that, it makes me very saddened that she would go so low for her own purpose when I was used to try to ingrain in her that teamwork is better than anything else. With teamwork, you can get a lot more done. And apparently, she was only in it for her own gain. Me, I would have made sure she tried to get something fair. Well, I got something fair out of the situation too. But apparently, she didn't look that direction.
And
At
that
least from my
must be
knowledge,
quite
she didn't.
and that
Huh?
must be quite hard for you, right? Because you know, you still love her, and you've stuck to your word. Could you maybe
Yeah.
tell me that? Tell me about that.
I mean, I stuck to my words. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter if I told her I wasn't be on Facebook at one time. Sometimes I'd be waiting for hours and hours and hours on her. I mean, the reason why I say there was a time I actually did believe she loved me is because there was one time she was waiting like 7 hours on Facebook for me. But that type of commitment disappeared. And then every single time we'd have an argument, I was the glue to the argument. I was no reason why we stayed together. I make that perfectly clear because I was the one who always had to point out every bit of what was going on that I didn't like, that she might not even been aware of that was going on, and making her aware of it so she can actually try to change her behavior in one way or another if it was something that was affecting our relationship at the time. And I was able to get her to admit that she was aware of one of the things, which was that I felt like I was the only one trying to pull us together. And if she wasn't going to try to pull us together too, keep us together, then really that sounds like a 75 to 25 uh, effort to me there. And very unhealthy, unfortunately. Very unhealthy. And because of how unhealthy that is, I'm thinking to myself, this woman truly loves me. She's going to change what she needs to change. Otherwise, you're going to fall apart. Is quite frankly, the day before I ended up having to leave to go down here the second time, down to Springfield the second time, we almost literally broke it off permanently because we were having such troubles over online that we weren't sure we were going to be able to make it together. We, yeah, our communication was horrible until that very last day. It got to as bad as it could have gotten that last day before then. I think what ended up uh, igniting her basically faith that something would obviously work itself out between me and her is that day that it got here, where I ended up having to go there right into Springfield, and uh, I mean, she tried to text me from time to time while we were uh, waiting until I got to Springfield. Well, I was on the Greyhound bus, and during all that time, she could, she would text me, but after that, I guess you could say that after that deed happened to been done of her mom being taken out, shall just say, um, allegedly, of course, due to who's listening, but yeah, after that happened, it seems that from what I noticed is that our relationship between me and Gypsy improved drastically. Kept on telling her before I ended up leaving that if she just held on enough to where me and her would be able to make it until I got to see her in person, that everything would improve, because that's all it was, is that we haven't been around each other for too long to where it was affecting our relationship. And boy, was I right. It improved drastically. It improved so drastically that uh, I'll just say that we couldn't not have 1 second not around each other. We were literally drawn into each other in such a way that it was very, very intense passion. I'll just call it. Yeah.
Did you why did you agree to do it? Like, well, why did you agree to come down to Springfield? Like, did you feel pressured from her, or was it that you like why did you agree to do it?
I made it pretty much clear that I don't break my word. I just don't break it. And once I told her that I'd do
Oh,
anything to
sorry,
be
can I
with her,
stop you?
she pretty
Can I
much,
stop you?
yeah,
Did you
yeah,
start again? Something keeps flashing up, and I think that I don't know, something keeps flashing up like a red sign saying
yeah.
I can't read it quick enough for it to flash up. So every time it does, it gets rid of your face. So do you think you could just start again? Because it just flashed up then and I couldn't see you. I could see the redness.
Okay. What I said before was that always I don't break my word. When it comes to her, I never broke my word. I I did what it was most likely known as being as close to perfect as possible on keeping my word on everything. And what happened was I basically told her that was willing to do anything for her, and even that is basically be with her. And after I did that, tell her this, she basically progressed into asking me if I would even be willing to do that. And well, I already said anything, so by me saying anything, that's considered anything too. So right there, yeah, I was pretty much, like I said, cornered into saying yes. So I was cornered into saying yes.
Could you say that for me again? That this thing is so annoying, and it keeps flashing up, but it flashes up to the point where I can't see. I can't see how what it's even saying. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just get you to repeat. Just say if you could just say a line. I guess it keeps doing it. It's so annoying, but I can't read
I
what
was
it
doing it
says.
more often.
Huh?
I was doing it more often.
Yeah. I wonder why. Do you think maybe because they're watching?
Yeah.
So I guess if you could just, because it keeps flashing up, if you could just tell me that you said you stuck to your word, and that you felt that you were backed into a corner. I guess if you could just try and give that to me again.
Yeah. Like I said, I kept my word. Felt like I was being pretty much backed into a corner because she wouldn't back off on it. I kept on asking her if she was sure. I asked her like 3 times, and all 3 times she said yes. At this point, I was saying, okay, well, if you're really that serious, then uh, I already said that I'll be willing to do anything. I'll be willing to do anything, so okay, I'll be willing to do it. So yeah, backed into a corner.
And sorry, could you just say I already said that I was? Ugh, it keeps doing it. If you could just say I already said I was willing to do anything, so I said yes or whatever. Hang on.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
It keeps doing it. This is so annoying.
Like I said, more frequently.
I wonder if they can hear me calling them annoying.
I'm more than sure they can.
Which is why they're doing it more, maybe.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe I'll say they're not annoying. Um, sorry, yeah. If you could, I don't know if this is going to work. If you could just say that to me again, I guess about how you said you would do anything and you stuck it. Yeah, I actually don't know if this is going to be usable. It keeps flashing.
Yeah.
We're
Well, I
just
can
going to
hear
have to
you.
keep
I can hear you while
trying.
it's flashing.
You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. Yeah, I can hear you while even it's flashing, so yeah.
And what does it say? Can you see what it says? Does it flash to you?
Yeah, it does. It flashes on my side too.
What does it say?
Uh, Something about removing the video. Something having the video being stream being paused. Something
Oh,
about that.
prohibit. I see
And
prohibited.
will return. Oh, come on, do it again.
The
Yep, yep. Something having.
video will be paused until the tablet is returned. The inmate,
Yep.
the inmate has moved the tablet to a place where use is prohibited. Are you allowed to have the tablet where you are?
Yep. Yep.
That's so weird. It literally keeps doing it over and over, and I think it's actually going to cut out in a second because it's only
Yeah.
half an hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
But should we arrange a time to do this again?
Sure.
I guess. I mean, I would like to ask you more questions, and I will keep doing this until we manage to actually get exactly, your voice heard exactly without this flashing thing. So we will keep trying.
Okay.
I guess. Do you maybe tell me about what your thoughts are on Gypsy's sentence? She got 10 years. Do you think that was fair?
Well, I mean, I've always felt like she deserves something along the lines of fair. But I mean, I kind of wish you would have maybe gotten maybe 5 more years, not much more, because I think it was a bit more along the lines of a slap on the wrist. That's really the way I look at it. That she got a slap on the wrist, even though, yeah,
I think it's gonna cut. It's gonna cut out totally in a second.
yeah,
Do you keep getting that?
yeah, I do.
It's so annoying. Okay. Well, I think that it's just going to keep happening. So I think we should just try again another time. Um,
Mhm.
is it okay if I message you to say when that would be a good time? Well, we can find out when would be a good time. It's
I I
yeah.
don't have any money on my phone account, so I wouldn't be able to text you back.
Okay. Okay. I don't. I will need to talk to somebody because I'm not in charge of that. Somebody else is. Will you let me talk to her? And she's our coordinator, and she can sort that out. So then we can chat. We can text because when I'm not in the office, it's easier for me to text you. So let me talk to her because she has to do that
Okay, sounds good.
because they don't trust me with the. I don't have the. I'm not a money person. I'm a people person. Um,
Okay,
so I'll get her to do that, and then I'll text you, and then we can pick it up from there.
okay, sounds
All
good.
right. Okay. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to you because it's going to cut out anyway. But
Okay,
I hope you have a really nice new year, and we'll talk in 2018
okay, sounds good.
because it's
You
2018
too.
in 2 days.
Yeah, yeah. Have a good New Year's as well.
Yeah. You take care.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
So I need to make sure that you can acknowledge that you know we are recording this video interview for use on possible broadcast on ABC News. You okay with that?
Mhm. Yep.
You can say yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So I'll begin with my first question. Why did you want to speak with us?
uh, Two reasons. One was I knew my co-defendant was putting my name out there in a bad light, and I didn't appreciate it because the way that I was brought up in a integrative environment as well as one with full of honor, and that's part of the reason why I didn't feel that it was right what she was doing. And the second was I understand that getting a chance to actually be on TV and everything else, that's a very, very big privilege. It's not something you get very often. And because I knew that, I understood that this is pretty much the same thing as a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I couldn't pass it.
What has Gypsy said that put you in a bad light, in your opinion?
Um, for one, she's openly admitted that she is more than willing to lie without having a conscience and doing so. Uh, and a lot of the lies that she's said, I feel like I have to literally cover it with the truth, and because of it, yeah, gets very frustrating for me.
How did you first meet Gypsy?
I met her on uh, basically online. It was on a dating site. It was called Christian datingforfree.com.
What first attracted you to Gypsy Rose?
Actually, I believe, well, she said it was the same thing, but I'm not fully sure if it really was that. For me, it was, well, I looked at her profile first, and I looked seeing that when she was on the way that she put her actual profile together, was pretty much everything I was looking for, everything from her height to everything else, and um, and then I looked at her profile picture, and that right away got my attention. It drew me to her really quickly. So everything came pretty quick, just from looking at her profile picture alone, and every bit of the information that she provided on her profile picture, as well as the rest of the profile itself. Yeah.
How would you describe your online relationship with Gypsy Rose?
Oh, this is easy for me to do because it's a question that I'm one of the only ones willing to go in deep detail about. Um, at first, when we first started out, it was well, I could definitely tell that she was fairly new to it, and I was fairly new to it in the light that where since for us it was something where we both were more like, I guess you could call it like how to put it in words. You could say it was our very first online dating where we actually got serious. From what I understood, I was actually the very first one she truly fell in love with, was what she told me. And for some darn reason, I obviously believed it. I'm not fully sure if it's actually true, but yeah, uh, it started out as pretty good. Towards the middle, we started having problems, and then the next thing I know, uh, when it came to towards the end part of it, we almost had trouble surviving literally as a couple online because uh, it seemed like she was starting arguments just to see if I'd stay together with her, and well, she'll openly admit it. As if she's gonna tell the truth. She'll openly admit that I was really the glue that stuck us together. There's there's times where when we had our arguments that she would uh do things, and then I would show basically her in the great detail that I'm usually able to provide that she was doing these things, and the next thing you know, she would uh at one moment she would admit it, and then another moment she would be acting like she didn't know what I was talking about. So she basically was playing a cat mouse game with me, and it just made more tension on the relationship. We almost
Nick,
broke up by the.
Nick, let me ask you this. Was
Okay.
Gypsy Rose your first love?
No, not my very first one. No.
How quickly did you fall in love with Gypsy Rose?
Uh, Pretty quick. I will admit it was pretty quick.
And it was intense?
Yeah, very intense.
How did you feel when you all were communicating back and forth, sending messages?
Uh, well, I mean, when we first started on the Christian Dating for Free website, it started out in like I guess you could call it, um, what's the word to put it? This is just touch around the area to get to know how this might go, that kind of a feeling. And then after we started relaying information to each other and uh, basically communicating about our likes, our hobbies, and so forth, uh, we started finding common ground from what she was telling me at the time. And after that happened, she ended up letting me know a Facebook name that she gave me, which was just it was known as Gypsy Rose at the time, and we ended up chatting on there about I would want to say about a day or two after that, once we started talking on Facebook, we went together, which was October 17th, 2012, is when we was the first day we were together.
Nick, tell me about the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Whose idea was it? Who planned the murder?
Uh, well, I'm actually surprised that Gypsy's actually admitted that she's done it because it's the truth. She actually is the one who actually not only did most of the planning because I made it right out in the open that I left that to her to do the planning, but I also uh, mainly went with the actual idea only because I truly wanted to be with her. I was literally not going to let anything stop me from being with her. And I made it clear to her, you, in one case where I mentioned it online, and then she had this habit of trying to push me further and push me to the point where there's no returning. But yeah, it was Gypsy's idea.
What did she ask you to do, Nick, specifically?
I can give you the exact conversation on how that went. Uh, she came online one night and she basically asked me. Uh, she was basically saying, "Baby, I have a question for you," and I was like, "Yes. What is it? I'll answer anything you want, obviously." And then she's like, "Is there anything you'd want to do to basically be with me? Is there anything you want to do to be with me at all? Uh, uh, whether it's uh, basically just getting to meet my mom and so forth, or uh, what is it that you would be willing to do to be with me?" And I'm like, well, that answer is obviously anything to be with you. Once I said anything, I was pretty much locked in my word because I never broke my word the entire time I've been with her. The next thing I know, she asks me, "Well, anything, are you willing to even kill my mom for me?" I'm thinking to myself, at first I was like, what the heck is she asking me here? I was first in shock, and then she, once she asked me that, I was like, are you serious about this? Well, I already told you I'd be willing to do anything to be with you. I'm not one to take my word lightly. So you better be serious about this. I had to get her to say that she was serious 3 times before I realized that was no joking around about it. Because originally she started off in a joking manner when she'd bring this up. It was basically on the tension that she was having put it on her relationship with me due to her mom. This is after the first time we actually met. Her mom apparently was having an argument with her this night, and she got so frustrated to the point where she told me that she was serious about it. And I basically supported her on it as long as she was really serious about it. I told her that this was a life changing moment, and if she's serious about this, there was nothing to joke around about. If she was joking about it, she'd tell me now and drop it right there. But no, we didn't drop it. She even wanted to go right into the planning right after she said that.
So, Nick, describe for me what Gypsy's role was in the murder of Dee Dee and what your role was in the murder of Dee Dee.
Well, to put it in the most concise way I possibly could put it, uh, she was basically the mastermind behind it all. I was basically a hired hitman in its own weird sense. Actually, in a more than one way, actually, now thinking about it in a deeper sense, mainly because, yes, she paid for everything from my bus fare down to Springfield, to the hotel I went to the food I ate, everything like that she paid for. And not only that, well, at the time, she made me believe that she really loved me when, well, here I am and where she turned her back on me, so I know that's not fully true. But yes, that was her role in the whole situation. She literally made me basically feel like I was doing her a service when really uh, it was really more like a hired situation, even though I didn't feel like it was that. And with my role in the whole situation was just basically the one that was to carry the harder part of the whole plan. I mean, I basically went back and forth with her. I collaborated with her, but I just basically, as long as it sounded like it would work, I told her if was okay for me or not, and I basically went with whatever she was telling me, basically.
So, Nick, help me understand. Why did you agree to and ultimately commit the act of stabbing Dee Dee to death?
Uh, well, I can't openly admit it on here since it's recorded in two directions, but I will say that the reason why I've admitted it in the past, and I will keep on admitting it, uh, the reason why I did do this is because I was, for one, so deeply in love with Gypsy at the time, and I said to her that I was always going to love her no matter what. I was going to love her unconditionally. There's nothing that would ever change that. I'll always love her. I kept my word. She apparently said she doesn't love me anymore, which means she was using me. Me, on the other hand, to this day, I still love her. So there's where the differ is different there, but I still to this day, I still love her.
Nick,
That was basically the reason why it happened.
Nick, can I
It
ask you
happened
this?
because
Can I ask you another question, Nick?
yeah.
Did you think that you were her Prince Charming?
Actually, the way that it looks like to me, well, actually, it's quite funny you asked me that because she used to, her nickname for me was King Charming. Mine for her was my Blessing Queen. And yeah, it's pretty darn crazy because at the time I felt like she was a blessing to me, but the more and more I think about it, it's blessing at the time, but it's only a blessing for the memories that she's given me, not necessarily the position she's put me in.
Hey, Nick, tell me what your nickname was again, because I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Uh, she used to call me her King Charming.
King Charming.
Hmm.
Why did she call you that?
Oh, well, the thing it was is that me and her, we used to talk about Disney movies all the time, and you had Prince Charming as one of them. That we were talking about. We were talking about Cinderella. Uh, Not just that, we were talking about all the different movies that they made that were romance based in a cartoon form like that. Um, and the next thing I realized is that with the uh, names that we were giving each other, she came up with the King Charming one, and I'm like, yeah, that fits, that fits.
Did you have a name?
After that, not really, no.
Did she have a role though in this fantasy romance that you all were creating online and then ultimately tried to live out later?
Uh, the fantasy we were creating was pretty darn strong. I will admit it was pretty darn strong. But after that, it's a little different because um, I mean, it kind of like evolved. It went from just an online romance to when we were in person into something much more serious and much more powerful than just uh, something you would call romance that just plays in someone's mind.
In Gypsy's
It
mind,
felt much more
Nick,
real.
in Gypsy's mind and in your mind, why did Dee Dee have to die?
Well, originally, uh, uh, the first time we ended up meeting, uh, apparently she angered her mom, and we were at the, what was it? It was a, yeah, there was a theater at the time. We ended up seeing, Cinderella at the time, and, apparently we ended up, angering her mom. It's more like she angered her than I did, is what she was saying. Uh, and apparently, she ended up coming up with an idea after that where she tried to make it look like it came from me to her and to her mom, that ended up delivering flowers to her to try to warm her mom's heart up to letting me get closer to them. And it didn't work. Apparently, from what she was telling me, it didn't work. So the only thing that she could come up with and I was able to come up was that. We were only able to come up with that.
Did
That
you
was the
think
only
that
idea
you
that was
had
left.
did you think that you or did you believe that you were saving Gypsy?
Uh, with the knowledge that I was getting from her, very much so, yes. I did believe that I was saving her due to due to the environment that she was in. I was well aware of her seeming like she was well blah, wheelchair wheelchair bound, and uh, I was aware that she was taking a lot of medication and a lot of the stuff that was going on with her, and I felt like it was being pretty much forced on her, and I felt like it was something that was not something she deserved. So uh, it kind of made me feel as if it was a duty of mine that I had to do because no one else was stepping up to do it, or they were just too blind to see it in plain sight, plain right out in the open. So I felt like it was, if no one else was gonna do it, someone had to do it, and I ended up being the one she called upon to do it.
What is it about Gypsy that you loved so much and that you still love?
Well, now, originally it was everything about her. Every single thing about her. Everything from the way she looked to her personality to her heart to uh, even some of the things that she would say. It's quite interesting because I could actually get a little bit of the southern accent from her from when she used to, before she came up to Missouri when she was down in Louisiana. I could tell she actually came from down there because there were certain words that she would say that remind me that she actually came from there from her accent. But everything from that to everything else, and then once this whole situation happened, the thing that stayed with me of what I love about her to this day, even though I am not in love with her anymore, I still do love her, to where it's not like a husband and wife kind of thing. It's more of a just a respect on the kind of memories that she's given me. So I would say that I still love her for all the memories that she's given me that were positive ones. But at the same time, I just love her just because, I mean, I told her the truth. I was always gonna love her, and to this day I still do. That's the only way I can explain it.
And I know that this isn't easy to hear, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to react because Gypsy told me that she believes you are heartless for what you did to Dee Dee and that she feels sorry for you.
Well, uh, for the heartless part, she knows I'm not heartless. She There was a time she even admitted to me that she wanted children with me, and that takes someone full of heart to want to do that. It takes someone that wants a future with a family with somebody to do that, and she knows that. But me, on the other hand, uh, the way I feel about that whole situation, she may say that in the context that she did, but the way I feel about it, no, I'm not heartless. As for her feeling sorry for me, the only reason why she feels sorry for me is because she knows she put me in this position. That's the only reason why.
If you could say anything to her right now, what would you say to Gypsy?
What would I say to Gypsy? Good question. Good question. Well, the thing is, I used to have a lot of questions I would ask her. So many that it'd be impossible to cover them all on one interview like this. But really, the only stuff I would let her know is that yes, I still do love you. Is if I would say to her right now, or literally say that I still love you, but due to all of the strain, all the damage, every bit of what you've done to our bond, to our relations to each other, the way that you've damaged my image and who that I see her as, it has made me feel like I can't trust her anymore, for she's lied to me in such a deep sense, and I've forgiven her for so many lies already up to that point that I don't believe I know who she really is anymore. And because of it, it has made me feel that now I have to do what it is right for me. I can't allow my feelings for her to get in the way of my safety. I can't. It's just something I can't do. And now I feel that if I saw her again, if she wanted to be friends with me, that's okay. But if she didn't, I'm okay with that too. I'm pretty much in a position now to where I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. I'll always love her, but I'm ready to move on because I realize she's not
I
the
have,
one
I
for
have,
me.
I have one last
Only
question for
because
you,
of what
Nick.
she's done to me.
Do you feel any remorse for what you did to Dee Dee?
Uh, well, originally when it first happened, uh, the the alleged situation that happened, I have to say that for my own protection, so they don't use it in court. Um, for that reason, when it first happened, I felt, I guess you could say, a numbness. I didn't know what to feel. It was so intense that I didn't know if I should feel remorse. I didn't know if I should still feel anger or what I should feel. I didn't know what to feel at the time. So I just felt numb. About an hour into it, a minute left. An hour into it, yeah, I started to feel that remorse, and she had to comfort me about it. So yes, there was a time I did, but then I forgave myself over time about it. So after that happened, yeah, that whole thing was very much true. I did feel remorse, but I did forgive myself over
Well, Nick,
time.
thank you so much for talking with us. I know we have 30 seconds left, so I really appreciate it. Thank you for speaking with us, and we appreciate you telling your side of the story.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you
All
giving
right.
me this
Bye, Nick.
opportunity. Bye bye.